They are present in far-off places, and they are present right here in Evansville, Indiana. These women remind us that the needs of the poor and the powerless are real. In our comfort and in our security, we may not always remember that living among us are those who do not have what they need. Not what they want, what they need to survive. The evidence is overwhelming. The food banks are running out of food. The sources of public assistance are not able to meet the requests that are being made of them. Unemployment figures continue to rise, which means health benefits are not available, which means that some families are one illness away from bankruptcy and destitution. These women remind us that while most of us are weathering this time of economic stress without too much worry, there are those who are not making it at all. These women remind us that we have a responsibility that comes with being Christian. It's not an option. It's a responsibility. That responsibility is to love and serve our God and to love and serve our neighbor. That's what it all comes down to. Love and serve God. Love and serve neighbor. And we know it. And we know it. It comes out again and again in our long-range planning process. We are here to love and serve God and to love and serve our neighbors, especially our neighbors who are in need. It's been the story of this church for generations. I was walking in yesterday's crop walk, and a person came up to me and asked me what church I belonged to. I told her First Presbyterian. Are you the pastor? She asked me. Yes, I said. And then she began. That church has meant so much to this community. I don't know where we'd be without First Pres. My hunch is that sometimes we forget that. My hunch is that sometimes we fail to remember or even recognize the impact that this congregation has had on the Evansville community and its needs. In the many holy conversations that have been had around the planning process, time and time again, the conversations have turned to the kind of church we are and the kind of church we want to be. Inevitably, the conversations have returned to the theme that we want to continue to be a church that makes a difference in the world. We want to be a church that brings positive change to the world in which we find ourselves. We are that church. And we will do even more of that crucial work in the days and years ahead. But it will require a little more from each of us. The Ruths and the Naomis and the faceless, nameless widows of our world are only going to grow in number and in need. And we will be there to offer our help and our hope. But it will mean that we need to give a little more. Some of us, a small number of us, are doing all that is fiscally possible. I've had tear-filled conversations with a few of our members who, because of the current economic conditions, have had to tell me that they can't give what they used to give. Their pain and their embarrassment in having to share that information with their pastor was more uncomfortable for them and for me than I can tell you. I assured them that we understand and that someday we know they'll be able to return to their former level of giving. But for many of us, for the vast majority of us, we can do a little more than we've been doing. We can take a step up on the giving chart. We can give a few more dollars a week. Look at it however it makes the most sense to you. That giving will make a dramatic difference. The needs of the world are real and great. And the ministries we offer to meet those needs must increase in order for us to continue to make a difference in the world that God has given us. This week you'll get a letter with a pledge card for 2010. The session hopes that you will prayerfully consider increasing your giving for the next year of ministry. Each of us doing what we can do, working together as a community of faith, the community of faith that we surely are, we can still make a dramatic difference in the lives of so many. And that's what these women mean to us. Ruth and Naomi and the faithful widow are all there to remind us of why we are here. To love and serve God, and to love and serve neighbor. In his book and culture article, A Lot of Lattes, Ron Sider reviews the book Passing the Plate, Why American Christians Don't Give Away More Money, a book about the pitifully small charitable donations of the richest Christians in history. Sider offers this synopsis of the author's findings. If just the committed Christians, defined as those who attend church at least a few times a month or profess to be strong or very strong Christians, would tithe, there would be an extra $46 billion a year available for kingdom work. The conclusion of the authors is surely right. Reasonably generous financial giving of ordinary American Christians would generate staggering amount of money that would literally change the world. 20% of American Christians, 19% of Protestants, 28% of Catholics give nothing to the church. Among Protestants, 10% of evangelicals, 28% of mainliners, 33% of fundamentalists, and 40% of liberal Protestants give nothing. The vast majority of American Christians give very little. The mean average is 2.9% of their income. Only 12% of Protestants and 4% of Catholics, I think most of them at St. Mary's, tithe. A small minority of American Christians give the most of the total donated. 20% of all Christians give 86.4% of the total. The most generous 5% give well over half, 59.6% of all contributions. But higher income American Christians give less a percentage of household income than poorer American Christians. In the course of the 20th century, as our personal disposable income quadrupled, the percentage donated by American Christians actually declined. The point? We can all do better. And when we get better at giving, the world will do better at living. The Ruths and Naomis and faithful widows of the world are not going to go away. These women and those like them are looking for someone, for some church, to be God's presence for them. If not us, who? If not now, when? May we be the people God calls us to be, and be as generous to others as God has been to us. For now and